So the funny thing is, they love you, they hate you, and perhaps sometimes they'll love you again. So it's a love and hate relationship because today I say the video that you like me. Tomorrow I say the video you may not like, you dislike me. So hence why I never asked anyone to like or follow because, man, you do what you want to do. You know, I could have left. I actually left at some point. And uh, in the 19-20 years I've been in South Africa, I left South Africa the longest for 4 months. And the cause then was I was still a bit young. I'm not going to drag this because it's a very complicated story. I was a bit younger and I was very much in my, liberated freestyle, let's call it that. So I was very vocal. And there was a time me in the city, or me in my town, like the buildings that really matter, we didn't correlate in some issues, of which the best thing for me then was to leave and try to reshuffle my mind, rearticulate the drive, because I was already here for like 10 plus years. So it felt like the spirits were calling me back home. A lot was happening. So I had to go back to Zim. And when I went back to Zim, I was there for like 4 months. I was happy there. I started fixing phones. I started doing computer stuff. I was actually starting to create that drive, but it wasn't easy because I had not lived there then in a very long time. So all my friends, things I knew, what I'm used to, what I would normally would do, it was all stuck here. But I still kept on moving. You ask people in Kadoma, they will tell you there's a point when I came back and I was even a laughing stock at some point. There were stories. Lib used to go to Europe. He cannot afford to go there anymore. He's broke. A lot of stuff was said about me, about my family. My mother even told me some of these things. People are laughing at you and all that stuff. But I kept the hustle going. Then at some point, I got some messages from Stellenbosch, from different parties, and also my homeboys, my crew, I was the producer, so they were like, yo, Lib, yeah, it's been a while, man, we miss you, so do make a comeback. So I made a comeback, and things started to align because I also reprogrammed how I was supposed to be and move. And so I matured in my steps. The city always loved me. There was no love lost. It was just like, when you're trying to accumulate power for yourself and the system already has power. Before you can have some sort of power, you need to humble yourself in the system so that you can find yourself. So when you find yourself, you can start to actually share power in a sense. So I left, So for those who like leave, I can leave. I could have left, I left. And what happens is we miss one another. We grew up together. As I told y'all, I have nieces, nephews, family that was here before even I was here. It's almost like extended family that you gather around, that you find yourself with. So there's a lot of people who matter. We matter. So also remember, not having a child, I'm not married. So in this life, I can always pick up my belongings and move the world and just be liberty, But at the end of the day, at some point, we all have to work together to try to move towards a certain goal. So I'm going to touch up on the VFS waiver situation because I'm finding that I get a few questions from Zimbos out here, and sometimes it's a bit disappointing because some people are not actually taking this time into consideration to put the paperwork together. So they find themselves in a bit of limbo because for majority, I know they're waiting for South Africa to say, okay, just come and apply there like this, the easy way, you know. But I don't see that happening, and I'm not going to encourage that talk. So I'll try to be, again, as a reminder to those who are trying to do the right thing, you know. One of the most important thing also is the Zimbabweans, the young Zimbos, they really showing courage, faith, and potential. You know, I'm liking the vibe of the young Zimbabweans. I'm talking from, say, 17 to like 27, 28. You know, they are in a situation that is tight, but they are really trying all sorts of hustles the way we did. And the funny thing is, as always, the elders stepping up, you know, when we were children, we were their age now. And we felt like the elders were stepping up on our style and not leading us and showing us the way, right? So now at 36, going into 37, when I'm speaking to a 17-year-old, 20-year-old, 25-year-old, for example, they look at inspiration on a whole different level. So we cannot afford to let them down. When these kids come knocking on your door, or when they're asking you for some sort of advice, what are you going to tell them? Are you drinking with them? Are you smoking with them? Are you partying with these kids? What are you doing with these kids? Or are you giving them some information? So I'm very happy with that. So let's be the change they wish to see, the change that we wish to see. Because when we do that, you see that now you're aligning with what you cried about. Look at it like this. Charity begins at home. Love, acknowledgement, understanding. So you understand that you were that kid who was not taken care of. So you can take care of these kids, change the narrative that fixes our future. So when we move like that, we're moving happy. Zimbabweans, where are we? You know, it's almost the 1st of June. You know, it's cold winter. It's going to be a cold winter. We're going to be out of winter just around July into August. You know, so that will give people, again, another just about 3 months. You know, this paperwork is hectic. As I told y'all, I mean, if I tell y'all, like, my accountants, even just for purposes of business sake and all that, they're still busy with my books. It's not easy to look into 3 years books when the company started officially, when I was not working anymore for the company that I was working for the past like 10 years, giving my extra skills. So when I started Lip Connect Africa, the books now are being done correctly. Not that they were not being done correctly, but there's a time for everything. Big Brother comes calling, SARS comes calling, you gotta do the right thing. So y'all know that I'll never want to tell you things or following the path without actually me having to have followed that path. Documentation is very important. So, for example, things like your license. How do you get your license? So before I get to the VFS waiver, check here. Here is what you call a traffic register. So when you go, for example, to apply for a license, what happens? That's done. You get to something like this. So that becomes your license. So this license, Liberty Bwanali's license, I got my license in Stellenbosch. I passed out here in Stellenbosch. There was no money involved, no payment involved. So I believe I work hard. So there's no luck in life. You get what you get. So for this VFS, a lot of people are under the assumption that there is a link somehow for the waiver. Because Zimbabweans hear this, they hear one word, and then they run with that one word because they want to skip the research themselves. Someone has to do it for everyone so that everyone can just copy. In this style, it's not going to work. It's you in the Home Affairs. So I'm going to explain to you how exactly, because I actually went through that website and I saw actually what many people, because many people are not really like tech smart. I understand that. But if you are not technical smart, you need to find people who are technical smart. Go on a computer. You can't do these things on a cell phone. Go on a computer, log on to VFS. Go on the section whereby you log in as a VFS, as a ZEP, you log in as a ZEP holder. When you log in as a ZEP holder, if you go and click new application, you have got two options. You can either apply for the application form, that is for extra skills, business permit. I don't know about the other permits. I really don't follow up on a daily, on a weekly, on what the Home Affairs Minister have said on extra news. Nah. Just follow the law up there. Everyone knows what is expected. So what do? You go on that VFS if you're on ZEP. If you're not on ZEP, if you're on refugee, then you know what to do. If you have never been documented, I don't know. I think the idea is to go back home and then start the whole process and then log yourself into the system, or ask the government here, perhaps if you can apply from here. But I don't know. I'm not speaking about that. ZEP, let's speak about you. You log in, click new application, apply for your extra skills, apply for your business, apply for whatever that is suiting your boat, right? Spousal, whatever you name it, apply for it there. When you apply for that, you have got another option to click new and apply for waiver. So when you click new, apply for waiver, you can just say click, apply waiver. When you click on the waiver, you are now doing the waiver process. So that waiver, the information they want is waivering whatever you have submitted on the actual application form. So if you're saying you're doing business, for example, and your business is to meet 5 mil criteria, but you are say 2.5 or 3 mil, so you are 2 mil short. But your business is valid, valuable, the country needs it, your skills is immaculate, remarkable. What does the country do? They look into that waiver and waiver that, right? That's according to the system and it's up to them. So one thing that people cannot do, you cannot share that waiver link out of what you will be doing. That's not a shareable link. Because for security reasons and all that, that's why that cannot be done. So the only thing is ZEP to ZEP, you log in or get assistance from someone who knows computers, internet stuff, go on the website, log in, apply for these two things. So for someone who goes, say, direct, that's where DTIC comes into play, right? So the business documents, blah, blah, blah. Once everything is done, then send it to DTIC. Then they also do the waiver thing. So the waiver that they're trying to do right now on VFS is to, again, make things extra simple for the Zimbabweans who really, really take law into consideration, doing the right thing. Y'all know we're coming from a country that is really unstable right now. And doing the right thing will only make sure that a lot of people actually stabilize. So lengthy process this is. It's not something to play with. Time is still remaining. People can still calculate what is really going on. Call the right people. You know? Zimbabwe don't care. So the one thing you can just do is do good, do right, be faithful, be loyal, be straightforward in how you gotta live where you are. Be a law-abiding citizen. Create better relationships. Don't cheat the system. Don't listen to those in your circumstances or who are lost or who don't know what they're doing, because what you'll be doing is you're misleading yourself. So you only have to listen to people who actually can advise you, and sometimes the advice comes from people you do not like. Fact is fact, truth is truth. That's just how life works. So again, Zimbabweans, ZEP, log in, new application, either apply for your skills, business, spouse, or whatever visa suits you. Apply for that. And from there, you can apply for waiver. But one thing you can't do is msingakwanise kuita amkwanise kuzvitumirana izvi. Link aishereke. Hazvibatike zvonzi ngatikandire kuna John ukandira kuna Tafa, Tafa ukandira kuna hanzi Tatenda ukandira hanzi Gladys. Hakuna izvozvo. Hakuna. The only thing you can do is go in there with your credentials, attach things to the system, and process your things. And no group work. One-on-one situation. So I don't know how Zimbabweans y'all want to slice it, but that's the only way I can see how we can slice it here. Someone commented on the Dudula video, propaganda machine, you know. For some reason, I'm propaganda. How? You know. So the funny thing is, they love you, they hate you, and perhaps sometimes they'll love you again. So it's a love and hate relationship, because today I say the video that you like me. Tomorrow I say the video you may not like, you dislike me. So hence why I never asked anyone to like or follow, because, man, you do what you want to do. So propaganda, facts are visible. Things have happened. People have been displaced. Even though the agenda will come now and say, but we're going for the undocumented, for the illegals and stuff like that, you know, but the damage has been done. I look at it from, we had ESCOM issues in Soweto. That's where that started. And then it got to where it got to. So people can say whatever they want to say. One thing I don't have is hate for anybody. I just want people to learn. Because remember, we tell our stories, or our stories get told for us. So however you want your story to be narrated is up to you. I'm an African, so my base is just on that. I speak African, I breathe African, I've always been doing that, will always be doing that. I have self-love, knowing, and direction. And that does not come from anyone's payroll. No. No one has ever paid me to say what I'm saying. If anyone have ever paid me to say what I'm saying, they must come and say, oh, you know what, I've paid Lib to say what he's saying. Nobody. What I'm saying is what I'm saying. I write my own lyrics. I write my speech. If I have to write it, like articulate things like this, or I go straight off the dome, you know. But no, I don't have to be paid or to speak for a certain group or a narrative or to sound. No, I'm not that guy. Ask those who know me. I have a multiracial family. They love me. I'm straightforward. I speak how I speak. I come how I come. I don't come in doubles, you know. Straightforward. So at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not gonna flip flop on what I'm supposed to think because it's education. I'm not the one to come here and rap out all day. I have times where I do that, and platform where I actually do that, if I want to do that. But on this platform here, I want to talk different, because we've got a lot of kids who are not going to actually learn how does Lib set up a router board if Lib does not document, speak about it. These kids are not going to know how to actually move from A to B if we don't show them the way. We can rap all day. We can make all drama all day. We can be online, be on social media all day. But if we're not teaching them nothing, we're absolutely doing nothing all day. That's just facts. So we're responsible, as I say, for how our stories are told or how we remembered, narrated. That's in everybody of us. So I can't say, look, man, they'll remember you like this. I don't know. You write that. So let's be courageous. Let's move correct. Let's be self-worth. Give yourself worth, value. Be great. Most importantly, you gotta take care of Africa, man. You gotta take care of Africa, because that's what you are, that's what you got, and that's what you always have, even after life.